Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us for another We Love Anatomy mini lecture. Today, we're diving into the tissue level of organization. You've already learned that the human body is organized into levels by complexity. We've covered so far the chemical and molecular level and the cellular level. Next, we're going to move boldly forward in our level of complexity by moving to the tissue level. In the weeks to follow, we'll further explore the human body at the organ level, the organ system level, and we'll put it all together in the organism level. Before we go further, let's clarify some key terms. We've established that tissues are groups of cells working together to perform a specific function. Histology is the science of studying tissues, and a pathologist is a specialist who examines tissues and cells to help diagnose disease. These roles are critical in healthcare. Every biopsy and most every lab report you'll encounter involves histology. So when you hear these terms in practice, you'll know they're all about understanding tissues at a deeper level. While disease starts at the cellular level, the tissue level is often where we first detect a disturbance in our homeostasis and receive clues that there's dysfunction in the context of illness and disease. All tissues in the human body fall into four major categories. The first is epithelial tissue. This covers body surfaces and lines body cavities. We find epithelial tissue lining the GI tract organs and other hollow organs, and it comprises the skin surface or epidermis. Connective tissue is tissue which supports and binds other tissues. Some examples include fat and other soft tissue padding, bone, tendon, and ligaments. Third is muscle tissue. Muscle tissue enables movement in the body, and we have three subtypes of muscle tissue, including cardiac muscle, smooth muscle, and skeletal muscle. We'll be examining those subtypes in a subsequent mini lecture. Last, we have nervous tissue. Nervous tissue transmits signals for electrical communication throughout the body. Nervous tissue is found in the brain, spinal cord, and nerves. Each tissue type has unique structure and function, and together they make up every organ. As we move forward, you'll see how these tissues work together to keep the body functioning. Where do these tissues come from? During development, tissues originate from three primary germ layers: the ectoderm, the mesoderm, and the endoderm. If you look closely at the prefixes, you get a general idea for where you might find some of the tissue types that are derived from each germ layer. Ectoderm, ecto means outer; mesoderm, meso means middle; and endoderm, endo means interior. These layers form early in embryonic development and give rise to all the tissues in the body through a process called differentiation. For example, nervous tissue comes from ectoderm, muscle from mesoderm, and many internal linings from endoderm. This is why embryology is so important. It explains the foundation of tissue organization. Having a basic understanding of the germ cell types allows us to better understand the nature of the tissue structure and its function in the body. Finally, let's talk about tissue membranes. Membranes are thin layers of tissue that cover surfaces, line cavities, and separate body structures. They play roles in protection, secretion, and sometimes communication. Depicted in this image are the four membrane types: mucous, serous, cutaneous, and synovial membranes. These membranes are essential to our defense and function. Let's break them down a little further. Mucous membranes are membranes that line the body cavities that open to the outside world, including the respiratory, digestive, and reproductive tracts. Mucous membranes secrete mucus, which helps to trap pathogens and keep the membrane surfaces moist, a critical defense mechanism. By contrast, the serous membranes line the cavities that do not open to the outside, such as the thoracic and abdominopelvic cavities. Serous membranes produce a viscous serous fluid, which reduces friction between organs, allowing for smooth movement. Think of the lungs gliding in the pleural cavity as you breathe. The cutaneous membrane is what we commonly call the skin. It's a dry membrane that forms a tough protective barrier against environmental hazards, pathogens, and water loss. This is your first line of defense. Synovial membranes are found exclusively in our joint cavities. They produce a thick fluid called synovial fluid, which bathes and lubricates the joints and nourishes the cartilage, making movement possible without pain or damage. Each of these membranes plays a unique role in maintaining homeostasis and protecting the body. As future or current health professionals, you'll encounter these terms often, whether in wound care, surgery, or managing chronic conditions like arthritis. In our next series of mini lectures, we'll explore in more detail each of the tissue types and their subtypes, and we'll explore tissue injury and repair mechanisms. Stay tuned, and thanks for joining us.